Hello, everyone. In our previous episodes, we have reviewed the process for creating reports and how the report can be automated to be sent to the director weekly once or depending your customized cadence. Today, we will learn how to build a dashboard for the leadership, and this will be based on leadership demand. So, today, I will walk you through the process before you start building a dashboard and how you can make it effectively and in one shot. So, let's go to our whiteboarding session. Today, we are going to work right around this area with the leadership ones. So, when you're talking about the leadership, the ultimate thing is understanding what your leadership really wants. If you understand your leadership demand, things get a little easier. But before you start building any dashboard, I would recommend you to build a prototype or mock-up report first, which you can build exactly in this diagram. So assuming you are building a dashboard, now when you're building a dashboard, keep in mind that your director may want to use this report for the meeting with the VPs and then other directors maybe, and also passing information to different channel. At that level, the director may want to know is the high priority or top metrics, right? So when we looked at our data set, which is our analytics demand governance system, and if you carefully look for it, you will see what information your director may want to report to the VP. They have limited time, and we need to maximize their time and effort by giving the right information. So, what I believe in here is if you show the total count of the request, that definitely one important metric to show how we are doing, basically. So one important metric would be total number of the request. So we will set up a total request count. So total request count is one metric. And this particular metric, we obviously can build a metric like this. So this is going to show up like this. Then you also want to know out of this many metric, how many of them got completed or delivered. So it tells us our backlog and how well are we doing. If we are constantly behind, that will tell a different story. So we would say number of delivered project. And then the last metric, since it's a very simple one, we're going to work on small amount of the metrics. So what we will do in here is we will add one more metrics, which is the delivery rate. Delivery rate. And keep in mind, we will add a title also on the top. So this part goes a little down over here, and you will have a title right in this area. This is our dashboard title. And then if you want to add more metrics, of course you can, but since it is very simple one, we are going to add a simple report, the report we created to send to the director every week. With this, you get a full review all the important metrics, and as your team grows, as your demand grows, you can develop more metrics that will fit your demand. This would be one very simple and effective dashboard for your management and leadership to report on. But later on, if you want to add more metrics such as high priority request or SLA compliance rate or average cycle time in how many days you are delivering, that will go into the ops and you can definitely calculate it using Smartsheet. So let's head towards our analytics page, and what we will do in here is, in analytics, we will create a separate page so we can start calculating those metrics in the back end. So what we will do is we will create a separate page. I created one for me as an analytics governance data backend, where the idea is to keep all the data in here. So what we will do is, let's delete them. And what I want to show you in here is the column name. As you see, always it will come column 1 or 2 or 3 like that. So I renamed it to total count, then delivery count, so delivered project count, and then finally completion rate count. So how we would like to do it is, let's create the total count. So when we are counting something, is we will write a simple count formula, reference the other sheet. So we only have one in here. So what we will do is we will select analytics demand governance system. So select that. And then what we do is we select this column. So it will be like this. And hit enter. So you have your count, total count, which is 5 projects. Then we have delivered project count. So in that case, since we have other status in the project delivery column, like blocked, rejected, in progress, and delivered, we will have to write a COUNTIF. So COUNTIF, the range would be right over here, and scroll to the right and look for the column where we have the status. So status would be right over here. Work status, in progress, and one only delivered. So we select that for the entire range. And then here we have the range selected. When you have yellow marked, that means we are covered with this. The next step would be adding a comma to it and then selecting the criteria. And the criteria would be delivered. And we only have one delivered as we have so far. And the completion rate is very simple. So your delivery count over your total count. So you don't have to do anything else but this with the 20%. Now you can control it by clicking this particular percentage format. You can make it more intense if you want. For example, you would like to count the distribution of the request based on the priority level. Obviously, you can do, just add them to your count and it will work perfectly fine. So right from this area, you can count estimate effort, then you can count the priority level, and you also can count other based on the urgency, like here. How many of this report is urgent? So actually, let's add how many of this report is urgent in our backend data. So what we say is right, and then here, urgent count high. So we are only counting high urgent. So here again, same simple formula. We go to reference the sheet. And we go to the urgency, select urgent column, comma, high. And as you see here, 5 urgent. So we'll add these 5 metrics to our dashboard. So if we go there, and now let's go to the dashboard section. Here is, I opened one untitled dashboard, meaning there is nothing available in it. But we will work on this now. So let's rename it to analytics governance. system dashboard. And we also want to identify whether it is for the ops or for the leadership. So we'll call it lead dashboard. And then we'll put in our favorite to keep it on top of all of our Smartsheet projects. Now, what we'll do in here is let's delete this portion. So when you are on the dashboard part, and you will see a grid-based interface where you will be able to select your widget and also distribute the widget so you can control the spacing part. And this is very helpful to see this way. So here we will set up a title first. Our title would be something like this. Analytics. So let's put the background to dark blue, and then we have the white font. So analytics leadership dashboard. We will rename this. Let's keep it as Analytics Leadership System. And we call this part over here Analytics Governance System Leadership Dashboard. Then we will add a metric. So the metric is right over here, which will come from our data. So I have a bunch of different workspace in here. So what you do is navigate to yours and just connect it with it. In here, what you do is total count. We are only interested in total count, and the first row is that answer. So you select total count, select that, and what you see here is total counts, analytics, governance, data backend. So we don't need that. What we need is we will have to say the title of this widget. So title of this widget, will make it in the center, and then we will select a different color for the widget, and let's call it as the total request count, number of total request. And we are going to put this number in the middle. All right, so right here, that's our first widget. Then we are going to add a separate widget as well, which is the metric of what we built. Go to your same backend data, and under the backend data, we have already added total count, so we will add delivered project count. So we will say, again, we are going to maintain same format across the board right over here. Project, and let's put it into the middle, and let's take this out. And finally, we will add two more metrics in here, which is connecting to our backend data, and we want to show what's the rate, completion rate basically. So completion rate is right over here. So we'll select this. Select this, and then also let's rename the title. Title would be delivery rate. Delivery rate. And we're going to center that. Take this out and go to data and layout to make it like a stacked rather than side by side. And then I think we need to readjust this a little bit more to fit the fourth ones. And finally, we will have our fourth metric right in this area. Which is the urgency count, or high number of high ticket, basically high urgent ticket. So and what we will do is we will now provide the same format and also center the title and take this, the name of this widget out, and also make it like a stacked. And we are going to set this up in the middle and try to fit this right in this area. All right. So this is perfectly done in here. What we will do next is we are going to add our report, the report we built. So click on this plus icon, which is the add widgets. If you click on that and then you go to report, so click on this report, and what we will do is add report. We created a report which is in here, I believe, Director Weekly Demand Report. So if we click on this, and this is what we have, a beautiful report built for the director, and director can be benefited out of it, and you can add more data or more metrics to it. And what we will do is we will just put it into the center, and now everybody has the same report. And if you want, you can see the Gantt chart over here to see the distribution. And also we are going to widget behavior. Under widget behavior, the default answer is take no action. So what we will do is we will set up open the source data. So we will select that. And then you can play with the format of the dashboard as well. Right now, this is by default on the standard. You can make it classic or rainbow or all other different design. But in professional world, it is always safe to choose something that fits everyone's need. I know these dark ones looks really pretty and nice, but I would recommend to go with the basic need so everybody actually has the fair way to see it. So we will now hit save button in here, and once we do, there you go. Our very little but effective dashboard is ready. We can add more data in it if needed. Let me know in the comment what kind of data point you probably would have added, and it could have been beneficial for the leadership. And also let me know if you have any questions or concern, and I will answer to all of the questions and comment. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with me as I plan to make more videos not only on Smartsheet but also on other tools. So that was all about the dashboard building. So let's head back to our whiteboarding and see what we have got done so far in here. We have built the dashboard, and with that this project will end. And once it is completed, the expected outcome and the impact would be immediate stop on the random project, and then makes the trade-offs visible, protect analyst time, and also align analytics to the decision. And finally, your director or VP, their trust is gained. So thank you so much for your attention today. Don't forget to see our next video.